Well, hello. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Just got to get this going on here. Give me 1 second. Welcome into the live. This is one Tony J. We have some issues today. We have some major issues. So it's necessary for us to comment on a few things. First of all, we're going to deal with the truth. And the truth being, uh, anytime anytime you pick six quarterbacks, and of those six quarterbacks, you find that you have a competition, and that competition is not fair, you know. And to bring in another quarterback into a situation where you're getting ready to go into uh, inter squad games. First would be Carolina, and the amount of reps or whatever that goes on inside of that. I think it's 10, 10, 10, 10, and they might go a little bit further. Excuse me, but who really knows? And so as we look into that, it's necessary for us to make sure that at all times, let me get this going over here. It's supposed to be all right. And anytime you have a situation where all these people are vying for playing time, it's real. Now, as we go back and we look at the situation with the Cleveland Browns and what they're doing with their quarterbacks, Flacco is being Flacco. He's doing his job. If you notice, he's not even in the press mix. They're not even coming to him for questions. Their problem with him is real simple. It is not a problem. It's just based on his age and how long can he go in a situation. Now, the very first thing you have to understand is Flacco doesn't. The problem with Flacco is real simple. We can't see him. So now, give me 1 second. Trying to work this out. It's always something. All right. Uh, All right, here we go. All right, we're all set up. Good, good. So please forgive me. Okay, here we are. Let's deal with the narratives of the Cleveland Browns. All right, the narratives that you see now, um, especially live, the live views. All right, now you got to understand something. Some of the people, me myself, I stay away from AI because some of the AI narratives you're seeing are generated right inside the Cleveland building. You follow? So if they're trying to level, I would say feed the hype, uh, they're doing a good job based on their views. People are listening to this, and as you know, in AI, if you notice, anytime they make a video in AI, it goes three. It goes, you'll hear the same thing 4 or 5 times, and then they'll add another narrative and they'll say something they've already said. So they're trying to conform your thinking into what's going on. And to do so, that becomes an issue. So uh, uh, AI is AI, and so I stay away from that. Now, there's certain people who come into it that have access, and they have a proposed narrative, Now, you got to get this because this is very, very important. Anytime they give you a pass to be on the field and see actually what's going on, you have a do's and don'ts about your narrative that's handed to you. So if you want to see the next day, you will conform to the do's and don't list, and that problem is is essential. And so they're only going to tell you so much. So what do we have here? We know that AI is not basically telling us the complete truth. All right, we are very, very, very much aware of that. All right, and because of that, we're in a quagmire. So what am I saying here? First of all, we know that AI is being generated out of the Browns building. Fact. You can check their address, their IP address. So, and what else do we know? Okay. Okay, and then secondly, you have a situation where they now brought in 6 quarterbacks. Okay, and who's actually playing, who's actually not. Who's 7-on-7, the whole 9 yards. So with looking at that, we are forced to understand that the situation is peril. So it's hard to really believe what's happening and what they're doing. You got to understand something. Shadur's slide, okay, although they knew they would get the press hype behind it, they didn't understand the follow-up that was going to trail. You see, stories come up and the stories die. All right. So whether he was chosen in the 5th draft, in the 5th round as a fifth round draft pick, you guys everyone's focusing on that. They're saying he's a 5th round draft pick. He's a 5th round draft pick. It is. We all know he's not a 5th round draft pick. Okay. You're not seeing the picture. They got him for $4.36 million a year, and then his brand took off. All right. So we won't talk about those financials. We're talking about the recovery financial of Deshaun Watson in the guaranteed contract. You follow? So now they got two for the price of one. And unfortunately, they went after Dion to do so. And that, my friend, is the issue. So when you really look at this and understand that this was filtered in from the start to recap that money that's coming out of the $300 million per team off the television rights scale. All right, you understand that? $300 million per team. So so don't believe for 1 minute that these owners aren't in cahoots, because they all have to manage a specific amount of money paid by the entertainment industries. If you notice, if you go online and create you a short, 3 minutes, and speak on certain issues, you won't get no views. Now, a perfect example, let's take collusion. All right. If you take How Stratter, who turned on his own guys, you follow me? When he got cut in 22, he went into the executive position of the Player Association. You got to understand this path. All right. When he went into that position, all right, he hired an outside person, How? And the vetting of the outside person was extremely confidential. So now you have 32 executive PAs, one for each team, and they vetted. They have a chance to vet, but they were given, this is the direction we're going. So they canceled out two other guys. I think one from the Cardinals. But anyway, they put How in place. So what How did was he took a $1.378 billion treasure chest, and he coupled that into acquiring another entity in cahoots, or pairing of the NFLPA+, called One Team Partners. Now, One Team Partners signed all these conglomerates and came in at a $2 billion level with an estimated revenue to $10 billion. You got to get this, based on the player's name and likes and production. So what am I saying? They took the player's money, created another venue for profit. Now we know that 1.378 is to play ex-players, concussion protocol, damaging, things of this sort. So the players themselves didn't find out nothing about this till last Thursday. So at the same time, the FBI came through the door to acquire the financials. And those financials got to the point to whereas it became absolutely fickle. And I would say fickle, I would say a good word, fickle, because it didn't make any sense, and just think about this. The year before Stratter got the NFLPA, he took it from Smith, who paid himself $8 million a year, to show up at the office 2-3 times a year. Man, so they're worried about whether How came in, and he's using the treasure chest receipts for taking people on meetings, and meetings are at strip clubs, and don't look at that like oh God, fornication. It's not like that. You have meetings on golf courses. You can pay if you go down to Brentwood Golf Course or Palisades, California, the Riviera, and take a party at 8. You're going to pay 3 times as much. A meeting is a meeting, and so how the surroundings you discuss your situation in, you get drinks. It can be alcoholic or not. You get good food. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not just sitting up there watching, women who actually, make that their living. They serve you, they bring you drinks. It just makes it a little bit more provocative. So, and because of that, that's what it is. All right. So when you understand that. A meeting is a meeting, that's not the situation. The only problem here is the top secret process of developing another company out of the money of the player association. Now it gets even worse. When Stratter came in, he came in like Donald Trump. I'm sure. Well, I can't say. He did something before Donald Trump, like what Donald Trump did to the government offices. He says, time to go. So take your money and go, or just go. It's your choice. So when he did this, the situation became absolutely unbearable. All right. So Treader gave people option of who was on his side and who wasn't on his side, the chance to how could you say this? Take your money and run or leave. All right. So the people who are on board, he built his team. And so when they built this, Howe went out and built this other entity. Now you got to keep in mind he's a part of the Carlyle Group. You got to get this. The Carlyle Group, who was vying to get their own team. So this is the ABC. You got the NFLPA. You got one team partners. Now, in between those two, you're going to put the Carlyle Group. You're going to write that whiteboard, okay? And what are they after? You're going to draw an arrow down, and then you're going to put new NFL team, all right? Or purchase a team, all right? Now, and so when they get that cash or they find a team that's for purchase, aka Cleveland Browns, and they come up with that money, so now the Carlyle Group owns a team that they purchase, all right, as investors or however it is, from the war chest between the two companies, the one team partner, and the collaboration of the NFL and the MLB. So that, my friend, is financial debauchery. That's a good way to put it. So and because of this, what you have is absolutely criminal. All right. So now that the FBI so now that the FBI is they're sending me a message from Real Train. but you can't see it. That's crazy. So let me see. Let me see if I can get this up. Okay, there we go. All right. We'll see. All right. Now let's stand up in settings. Yeah. Must be me. I don't know, but I'm having a real hard time with this. So anyway, well, we don't want to do that. We want to go back to this. All right, there we go. So excuse me, I'm back. I think I'm back. I'm not even sure. So as you look at these different scenarios of the collaboration between the NFLPA using the players' treasure chest to capture a team as investors, and move ahead. Now the FBI is knocking on the door. So is that a situation? Yes, it is. Now that's on the business side. Now on the player side, we can only say Deion Sanders and his two sons and whatever lawyer he's choosing to bring forth the collusion lawsuit. I would have to say that's almost one, because that's why Shedeur Sanders went in and he's performing at that level to build his case. You follow me? And so the only way they can keep him from building his case is to keep him off the field, because there's $100 million in lost revenue, coming up. And this is just, you guys are missing it, and I'm amazed by it, because it's not just the 100 million that's in question. Let me go home. All right. Okay. Messages. Okay. So that situation of Shedeur Sanders and his lawsuit is being proven every day in his reps. So, and unfortunately for them, again, he's pulling us off with water boys, bat boys, or and this isn't racial, but little short receivers, and those guys are out there doing it. They even came up with a tight end, because he keeps throwing to him, on that skinny post across the middle on either side of the field, and he's eating them up. So Shedeur has proven his case. So that's why you don't see him on the field. All right, because he's actively going after the damages of lost revenue, and the punitive damages are going to be insurmountable. So what can we say? We can say this. We understand Shedeur Sanders. 6 quarterbacks. Now, we all know you're coming down to a cut. After this inner squad, we're about to cut the team. We're about to get down after the inner squad, the first week of Carolina, and then we have the second one. It's a cut. It's a mandatory cut. So half the people around aren't going to be around. So, and when you get that, and when you understand the financials of what's going on, all the AI documentary, Cabot, Barbershop, and this is no pun, Barbershop, you're good, but you have a hidden narrative because you want to keep getting in the gate. You follow me? And some of us know. Some of us come from sports. Some of us played the game. I may be older, but the game hasn't changed. It's about dollars and cents on the business level, and they're not going to let you come in that gate and create a truthful narrative that can hurt their plan or their proposed forecasting budget. All right, so you gotta your ability to tell the truth is hindered, to maintain your access, and that's what it is, no more, no less. So if we get to that point, and we're at that point, we understand that the debauchery with the NFLPA and using player money to get another entity, which is controlled by the financials, investors of the Carlyle Group, to acquire $10 billion, in a 2 to 3 year period, based on the players, the production, and the whole 9 yards. Okay, so that's one half. The second half is the 2-for-1 between Shador and Deshaun Watson, because now you just got, as far as money is concerned, you have a person who can replace him. Now, no one knew that Shador was going to go off in jersey sales. You see, they didn't understand the culture of Shador Sanders and the younger generation of the NFL. Unfortunately, the NFL, is so watered down, because I know when we play, we got our teeth knocked out, all our hands are broke, our face mask is getting cracked. When I hit you, I hit you right in your chest. I was taught to follow the numbers and not follow the juke. But these guys are basically playing a modified game of flag football. But if you get that hit in, you can take it, as long as you turn your head, keep your head off the player, use your shoulder. But the speed of the NFL is the damaging part. That's why these guys are getting hurt, because, they got zero body fat. They got all these nutritionists. They're eating, and no one's putting in the grind no more. I know when I was younger, we drank water out of the hose. We ate as much as we could. And as we reached high school and hit the weights, in junior college and college and hit the weights, every day we was hitting, man, I've never seen 8 days of practice, with just pushing and shoving. You got what I'm saying? Now we have another issue. We got to watch the guards. Why are the guards on the Cleveland Browns releasing their man after the initial push to the inside or toward the play? Man, this is on every film. And next time I go live, I'm going to bring all that up and show you on films and circle the block patterns. That's what we're doing now. We are taking films, and we're squaring out the block patterns to show you who's releasing. And when they release those men, there's a very probability that somebody's going to get blasted. And the somebody is the person holding the ball. And because if that defensive man is getting to you before your 3 to 5 step drop, and which automatically forces you to, right, left, away from the pressure, and they say blowing up the play, he's not necessarily blowing up the play if the man is constantly getting released. So if that guards, those center guard protecting the 2 and 3 men, and 2 or 3, whoever comes in to support that, if they send them out, that's a free shot to the quarterback. So, through the 1 and 2 gap, 0, 1 and 2 on either side of the ball. So, if J.H. hasn't really wanted to build his team, he would let Shador grow into his position because he's your franchise. Don't get it twisted. Uh, 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 you would let him go. I'll even say Shador or Gabriel. You would let them grow into the. No, Gabriel ain't gonna make it. He's too short. But that 5'9" is killing the guy. All right, because you did you see this Cleveland schedule? Have you looked at that schedule, man? It's a war in the AFC North. An absolute battle. You hear me? And so when you think those guys are going to turn that corner with their hands at their side, no, their hands are going to be up. And the sixth quarterback, they play Huntley, whatever his name is, Trey. No, that poor guy. Why? I guess he just needed the money. All money is good money. So he's over here to do what he can do. But he was 2-3 and 5 starts. So he's aware of football, and I hope he makes it. But Redbird Capital NBA venture for $600 million profit. Man, that's crazy. Comes to $2 billion. I'm sorry, I got two things going on here, but let me get back to the point. These people are at a point where they're putting so many distractions that and that AI. Those AI messages are showing that, hey, you know what? Shedeur Sanders is number one. So you click on it, and then they want you to listen to this 18-minute thing, and then it says the same thing they says from the OT from the training camps that started way back in June. So they just keep going over the same thing. They are massaging your memory to a certain narrative, which is actually wrong. So I said all this to say one thing, one issue, and that one issue is this. It's all crap. It's 100%. It's 100% cap. I don't think they care. The situation is peril, at this time. So I wanted to. I wanted to share that with you, understand that with you. I'm one Tony J with Real Issues, and this is our first one. But from this point on, and it's Mr. and Mrs. Miss Johnson will the wife will be coming on here to do the female perspectives of what she feels important, to the older women. I won't say older, but from to whatever age group that she wants to be a part of. So I thank you very much, and we'll go from there. You take care.